baloney. Hey, what's up? I have no freaking clue what the hell that was all about. That's the first time that shit happened. I have no idea what the hell that was all about. I might have hit it by mistake. Yeah, that was just dumb. Actually, it wasn't the fact that the mic was cut out. It was the fact that the background music was still playing and overriding the mic for some reason. Like I said, that was dumb. Never seen that before. But that could be related to the damn thing that you saw that I just uploaded to you. Yeah, I'm talking. NASA's in here talking. I'm chatting. I'm talking, and we're talking. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I got that music laid out like that. I got to figure out what tune. Well, actually, I know what tune I'm gonna throw in there. I just got to figure out like, because like I said, that mashup, which was just the software trying to loop it. Yeah, that made it sound stupid. I didn't like it either. But I don't like it. Like that was just basically getting the presentation right. So I needed to see how long it took me to build that. So camera view. Yeah, I know. And you know what? My phone is like was on 3%, so I'm charging it, so I don't have it down here. So I can't. I literally set up the user like, damn, I can't go in with it. Okay. Well, that's all right. That's all right. We got time. We ain't got nothing but time, baby. We ain't got nothing but time. Yeah. So yeah. So like I made. You guys don't know this, but what's up, people? Hey, we're here. We're weekly showing. We're live. I made, but you don't know it, the first how to build, and it's up, but like it's rough draft, as it were. Actually, it's rough draft number 3 because I've had the others. It was the first one I submitted to some of our members to see what they thought and get the critique. And I almost didn't need to critique it with them because I realized like I don't like this shit, so I got to change it around myself. It's not like too bad. I'm underwhelmed. Like I was disappointed in certain things, but really it was just to like get it the hell out there because I was so, I was so disappointed in like how it was going that I didn't want to like change too much, or like I was never happy with one thing or the other, so I kept changing. I was like, I just need to say fuck it and get something out there because people have been waiting for I don't know how long. And I was not happy with our original how to builds, and what I want to do is get the template going so that I could just plug in and take off. So your first how to build will be a Nova. This is official, and I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna put it like on my channel or here, and I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna make it musical or non-musical. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the camera just doped it up. So did the smoke intro, and I really don't get that either. Like, when it went to Paper Arrow Division, like, it looked a little bit, pixelated. And I was like, why then? Why now? What happened? I don't understand that. I can make a different transition, I guess. But I really don't, like I said, I don't get that. What? Is there JPEG artifacting going on to the video? I mean, what if I don't make it a .mov? What if I make it an MP4? What if I make it an MKV? I wasn't understanding why I was seeing that. I mean, because, like, in theory, it shouldn't have done that. You see, how did I do it? Snipples. It's an MKV. Okay, so I could redo it as like a MOV or an MP4. Well, I don't know if YouTube likes it any different. I think it actually has to do with the software building it. So, like I said, the artifacting was ridiculous. I don't understand. Like if you do that crap, if you're into it with like those MKV. Like in the background, when it sets to images or when it sets to stuff like that to the color bit rates, do they ghost and shit? I know something I'm gonna have to look into. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the voiceover did, but see, I need to get that one out there because that one, I figured that one, I mean, I've watched, the reason I did it that way was because I've watched the last 3 or 4 videos I've watched on people's how to builds. They've done it like that. Musical background and maybe a few annotations on screen. And like I said, so I gotta think like, yeah, you gotta have both reasons, but we've got 2 channels to do that with. So like I said, I'm leaning towards, I don't know what the hell I'm leaning towards. Basically, I think I should just flip a fucking coin and say like, okay, on my channel, it's going to be the voiceovers, and on the IVPAC channel, it's going to be the song. I mean, I guess they're used to us talking a bunch on IVPAC channel, so doing it that way, the musical background be on our channel and not whatnot. But I mean, that intro is still going to not change. All right. So apparently, Nasus is at least chilling out with his background in there. I know I caught a bunch of y'all out, but hey, you know, whatever happens, happens. Oh, hey, D, what's up, man? Yeah, you think so? It was, yeah, I know. Like I said, thanks, man. I figured you'd do that. Yeah, check into it. Yeah, and that's what, like, I don't get that. I don't understand why it was doing that. It's got to be something with that, like the layover. And again, if I switch it from MKV, maybe I'll upload it as a .mov and see if any of that ghosting and the artifacting will go away. Or I'll change it up. It really was. Well, a lot of it was the fucking camera, which was really disappointing. I don't know if I was, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, I think what I'll do with the next one, and I have it ready, is I'm going to upload via the other camera and plug that in before I go to switching it. Because if that works, yeah, I know, but see, the other thing is like, wow, we've got some studio experience. We've definitely got the plane experience. Everybody else out there is probably like, oh, these punks, look at this shit. They've been doing it like 4 years, but that's all they've been doing. So they like could probably go to Hollywood and just direct videos now. But we're like, you know, like we're paper airplane creators and flyers. We know I'm Jack Diddley about making this look supremo, and I don't even have that kind of time to do it in the first place. I mean, it ain't nothing when you're 14, you come home from school and do this till you fucking, you know, have to go to bed. But since you ain't spending time outside anymore, but this different. This is the real world, you know. So, and no, I don't think, I think we'll try to get it. Like I said, I'm gonna record it and then upload it and then combine it and then see if that works too. I mean, before I go to switching the file type. The file type's probably it, but like I said, I got other ideas first, and I just want to get that crap. I just want to get that crap down because actually I don't really know why. I just know I want to get it like that. That's I got to get the video out. So and again, I want it to be a plugin. So it ought to be close to something like that. I mean, like I've created one of the videos like that just fine before. And you remember, you saw like the original one, and I think it's on my channel with like Cirrus, the how to build on Cirrus. It didn't look that bad, but then again, there weren't that many words. And maybe that's what it was. It's like I wasn't making big words. Well, yeah, I wasn't making big words, so some of it was that. But I don't want it to be like that. So we're going to try to get a better freaking product. And so, you know, get everybody, like that's going to be the right way to go. And yeah, I know like everybody's not talking about this either because like what the hell is he talking about? Because the videos are private. I haven't even shared for everybody yet. So I want to be right. I want to be right. I was gonna do this one. So we're changing up the view of the weekly show because I was gonna finish this one on the show tonight while we're talking about standard weekly show shit. Because this is the one that I started this one during the show. And I was like, nah, hell. It's screwed up because I'd already, I don't remember what I did with this one. And I didn't do with the camera. So I was like, nah, screw it. I went into the next one. So. Oh, sure you are. Well, if you jump, who's going to see it? Yeah. Ah. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out, like, why. So apparently, numbnuts out there, and I use the term plurally. Apparently, everybody loves to get in there, and they'll be like, right down here, right in this little corner, Like, wait, I got you. I got you. I got you. Hold up. You'll see what I'm talking about here. Damn it, I don't have anything. Oh, yeah, wait, I got something. It is good. This is good. So this was like a video of like morons. Right down here would be this little picture of this little dude talking and chatting and bullshit about like reacting to what's going on right here, or showing us like a game video, and like for some odd reason that's cool. And I don't quite understand why you even need to be seen. If the action is here, why does your ugly face need to be on the screen at all? At all? Why do you need to be there? What the hell are you doing? What are you showcasing? Most of y'all are some ugly looking motherfuckers. I mean, like, I want to see you. I just want to know what it is you're doing. But it is stupid. Like, I mean, I ain't saying I'm the prettiest motherfucker either. But all I'm saying is, like, if you're making a whole video and all of it's here and all of it's about, like, first person shooting while you're playing Call of Duty or Rocket League or whatever the fuck it is you're doing, building a plane, you know, why do you got to be in a little window down here? Why do you got to do that? Why do we need to see your ugly ass mug that hasn't seen the sun in, like, 14 years because you're in the basement with your glasses on and a headset on? Because seriously, all y'all look the fucking same. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. It's like, this is the action right here. This is like, you could just mute this. You don't even need to put it on. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's why most of the time I don't like to do it with these in the first place. I mean, because like I said, I'm going to do activity here. So what do you want me to have a floating head down here going, yep, that's fold right there. Yep. See me? Hi. It's stupid, man. Stupid. This is the same people here that would be doing sign language for the deaf motherfuckers out there while this was the activity going on. You know what I mean? Like, they be going like, hi, how you doing? Today's we will be playing with the violin or whatever the hell they do down here. And she be like doing sign language. That's what that's for. Important shit. Not like dude in the headset sitting in his chair getting fat. I don't understand, man. God. I don't know. Anyway. So, this is the weekly show. Let me get the weekly shit out the way here. Origami Ukraine going fucking crazy, dude. Like 2 today. Again, these are origami. This is an aircraft that he's got on there, but like he's got like, man, the umbrella, the elephant, the trousers. He did a pair of pants. Okay. 1, 2, 3 pair of airplane. The other one is getting busy. Like 2, 3, 4 days. Last 3 days, getting some up there. So I mean, like there's some activity going on. Mostly out of them two, and the Paper Planes channel. He's got one in there. Air Command Rockets was like right at the cusp. Since this is 7 days, that actually counts. So Air Command Rockets did get something in there on an update for the 2-stage water rocket. After that, it's basically the same. Like I said, I caught you up on the other ones. And the shorts are from most of the same people. So go on out there, check them out. Their links up to there. You'd also figure after years of doing this crap that I'd be more prepared, but I'm not. So we're going to take a look at the aircraft sheet here real quick to make us look sound and not sound, and see if anybody's got anniversaries, especially, since NASA's and KIA are in here. Do you guys have any anniversaries here on this week of February? Y'all haven't been busy in February. I haven't been busy in February, except, of course, it's not a big one anymore. I keep forgetting that, like, now that Javelin's not my oldest, Javelin doesn't mean as much as it used to. So let me filter these out here and see if anybody's got what we got. What's going on? Yeah, not a Ninja. Hello. Ninja's in there. Wow, dude. Ninja. Holy crap. Ninja's 9 years old already. Damn. As of yesterday, Ninja rolled out February 18th, 2016. Holy shit. Dude, sometimes some things are like not catching me, you know what I mean? Because some things are like, holy crap, you know what I mean? I still picture that plane as being like 5 years old. I didn't know it's like it's almost a decade old already. Fudge sickles. That's getting to be an old plane. You're in Discord. Hold up. I'm popping. Yeah, so, but that's it. Everybody else is mostly OAEs was that this is a very inactive week, and they were all retired. So yeah, I know, right? That's why I'd like to think we're anxiously awaiting the database because like we had the database. Um, yeah, that would be the shit, right? Because we could just just do that thing that we do. How do we do what we do? Are you picking up on that? I don't know how it's going to turn out because now I'm not like, I don't know. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I popped into there. There you are. Hold up. We're playing around in the background of the show for you here, folks. Oh, yeah? I don't know how this is going to work. See?
There you go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Oh, yeah? I don't know how this is going to work. See?
There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Mute that for a minute. There we go.
I had to check on it because I was catching like, man, I gotta figure that crap out too. They should be able to hear you.
Yeah, they can hear me. I had it playing for a minute and I was getting.
Hey guys, Mark's up on here. You can hear Mark?
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I had to activate the background, but now I got it, so we're cool. Even though Skype is appearing in my audio mixer, but Skype is not the one that's active, obviously. I'm just fusing it through Discord. Hey guys, if you're out there, pop into our Discord channel. We're up there too. So,
Yeah. I'm going to pull up chat so I can still keep up with it.
That would help. Don, you at work? Or you at home? I'm assuming you're at work. You know our weekly show. We gotta change our weekly show day to maybe like, well, look, we just turned this into a live one. And you know what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to make it so that I was recording it and then posting it up so it would actually be Wednesdays.
And we can do a little bit of both. I mean,
yeah, well,
coming soon.
The other thing about that is though is we have other shows, so we could always like reserve the other shows for this, that, and the other thing. So the weekly show is just like nice to catch up on shit that haven't done in a week. But since it's our flagship, it obviously, hey, here we are. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, I think one live show a week is still decent, and then the rest of them can be just recorded.
Yeah. I mean that,
and then on top of that, you have the builds, and then like so then you have the how to build and other stuff.
I figured that may come up. The paper flight and more, because that was the one that usually was the ranty show too. So 3-hour long video log, because those are the vlogs. If anything.
Well, we're not gonna do that anymore, and this one definitely won't happen tonight either, because we're gonna try to keep this on topic. But
you said that now.
The video beginning was great. Like, I mean, other than like the quality was a little weird at first, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the beginning. I actually really liked the beginning with the kind of information about the plane. I thought that was really cool because I was like, I had never thought about that.
That was why it's taken me so long. That's exactly. Like, I mean, I had that in my mind. That's how I wanted to do it, and like that was the easy part. It was just actually fusing it with the rest of it, So
yeah. So then you have that with the shots, and then you have the second half of the video, which is just the folding. But at that point, I still think the voiceover would work really well, and just like slow down the build process a little bit, just for the videos.
Well, I get that.
That way the voiceover can, or because you don't want to speed up the voiceover. I mean, you can slow down the video in the software, but you don't want to slow it down too much to where it just looks crappy. So my thing is just if you just slow down the process with the voiceover, because you could have it already typed up and then play it and then build it as it's talking, so you know exactly how fast to build it. That would be an idea that we could try out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, I base it off of. I mean, if you go and watch a lot of other how to builds, they're a lot like that. And there's only two versions. There's either the ones that play music or the ones that talk you through it. And like I said, with us having our own channels, we can reserve one for talking through it and then one for just playing the music. So
yeah, I mean, but I you know, I always like to talk through it, whether either, you know, in with my like my vocals or like the voiceover.
yeah.
Because I want to kind of explain the process of what I'm building.
No, yeah,
That's just how
true.
I like.
And,
how I
and
like to
obviously that helps some people. Well,
Yeah.
it probably helps most people, especially if you're live when you're doing it. But my problem with that is only for me is, and I've mentioned it on the show. When I build, I get kind of quiet. I'll get into it and I'll get quiet. I'll forget that, like, oh shit, I gotta talk. I gotta tell people what I'm doing here. So
Right, yeah, and I've done that too. And I've had to like pause and clip and edit and do stuff on my videos to get it to line up with like the next part, because I'm just like going through it and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go back.
yeah.
So, you know, I've done that. But I think having the voiceover, like if you just do the voiceover and then play it and have it record the voiceover at the same time you build, I think it would work really well.
Oh yeah, that's
And that
true.
way you would,
Yeah.
that way you would know whether or not you messed up on the voiceover as well.
On the voice, yeah, right.
So you type out the build, and then you go to build it, and you're like, oh wait, nope, I need to do this. So then you can start over,
so,
or you can
so
edit.
so basically, you guys telling me you don't know how to build a Nova now?
No, I'm just saying, like the words were hard to read.
Oh
at
yeah,
some
true.
parts of it. Like some of the words were hard to read because they blended in with the background, so it was a little bit harder to read, and it was a little bit fast. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you slow down the process and had the voiceover explain it, I think it would be great. I honestly think that would be a really good video.
Like I said, that was a rough draft. That's rough draft number 3. Like, I haven't even showed you a couple that are even more rough. So yeah, I'm piecing it together. That's the
Yeah,
first
I
one
mean,
asked
I don't
y'all's
think
advice on,
yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't think you really need to. I don't think we need to look at the others. I think that, I mean, this is just my idea. Obviously, you do whatever the hell you want, but
well, hey, I wouldn't be asking you input if I didn't think, you know,
you know
I
what I'm
need some
saying? Like,
input.
I think I loved the beginning of it. I really did. Like, I was like intrigued because out of all the videos I've watched in our YouTube's existence, because we've been around since the beginning of YouTube, because we're old as fuck. You know, videos, they have voiceover, but they're not, the way they do it is not like what I was watching. It was informational at the same time, like interesting to watch. Because
Yeah.
I was looking at the pictures and I was like, oh yeah, some of those, like, I recognize those pictures. And maybe it's just because I connected with it. I don't know. But I feel like somebody who's never seen Nova would still connect with the video. Just my thought.
Right. Okay.
Because that beginning part was really, really informational and capturing, and it caught my attention like right off the bat.
Yeah. Those
Because you
ideas.
didn't just talk about the build, you talked about the plane and the history of the plane, and then went into the build,
Yeah.
which I haven't done. And I'm going to start doing that now. So you've actually made me want to change the way I do it. Coming up in the, see, KI said, I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like the way that was done. Like, I'm gonna kind of structure mine that way now, with the voiceover through the whole video, have the informational stuff at the beginning with the pictures, and then go into the build.
Yeah,
because I think that's clean. Like that's super clean, and I'm gonna do it. That's just the way I'm gonna do it. Enough said.
Yeah, if you watched any of those, you ever watch those like little documentaries on like the military channel or Wings channel? It's about aircraft. That's where I got the idea. That's how they did it. You know, they tell you the backstory. They tell you it's
They do, but
specs,
some of that,
so-
the voice of their stuff, like the person speaking, because it's a real well, most of the time it's a real person back then,
right.
because those documentaries are older before AI was really around. Those people were like they looked for people that had a very like monotonous voice for that kind of channel.
You need a good British guy.
Yeah, and like this one, even though it was computer, it still felt like it had inflection in the character of the voiceover.
Right, I know, and that's dude.
It was
That's the
weird.
thing. Those things have gotten better at that even since I started doing it. Even 3 years
Yeah.
ago, when I used that same freaking site with the same freaking TTS, it sounded way more robotic than the one that I just made because they've done that.
That's what I'm saying. Like exactly. They've made it sound more with inflection in the voice of the AI.
Right, yeah.
The AI voice, and it was really good. So I'm like, oh, that's sold me on going that route. So that's gonna be, but yeah. So just paid the deposit and everything for the new place today. So
So a new base is coming.
so yeah. I mean, in theory, yes, that's gonna happen, but a lot of things are coming because then I'll get the keys here within the next 2 months, basically month and a half. Get moved in, get settled in, and start being able to get back to where I can not just be on a freaking crappy laptop and
I'm assuming that you're probably not going to
No,
count
wait.
this as a base, huh?
no, I mean I haven't like 100% decided how I want to do it.
Well, because you
but
want
like
to
I
take out
told
bases
you,
from down there
you know,
anyway.
I'm gonna actually shrink the size of my not the size, but the amount of bases that I have in each state. I'm going to shrink them down because I've just moved so much. So it's just like a lot to it's just too much.
Yeah,
in my
I
eyes.
got you on that one. Yeah, I know.
Even for the size of force that you have, I have a lot of bases.
Yeah, I think you might actually have more than me at this point. I definitely close more than you have at this point.
You have closed more, but in total you've had more because you've been in it longer.
Yeah.
But active bases, and just overall the amount of times in a general area, I've got that by anybody because Quantico's flooded, North
Right?
Carolina was flooded, and now Florida has been flooded. And I'm just
See what you did there.
and Wisconsin has got a few, Minnesota's got a few, but I don't like I can stagger them, and that's kind of how I'm going to do it. I'm going to kind of do it like region based.
Right.
I mean, I know like we tend to put like if you can get multiple bases in the same area, you'll put those planes there as well. Like you'll split them up. But I think I want to do it kind of more region based. I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna have to look at everything that's open, or all the bases that I have in general, and figure out which ones I'm gonna keep and which ones I'm gonna close down, and then
Right.
what they're gonna be for their roles, and then that way I can figure out, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm gonna leave like one or two open in West Palm. I'm gonna probably leave like 2 open here in Orlando, and that's gonna be it.
Okay. That
then-
seems reasonable. That seems
And then
pretty reasonable. Okay.
I may keep one in Tampa, but Tampa's still fairly close, so I don't know if I want to keep that one or not.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it's close driving wise.
I got 50 and you got 33.
Open,
Yeah.
and I haven't even updated all of them because I mean I haven't updated you in the last what
It's been a
year and
minute.
a half.
Well, but then, like, really, it's only been since you went back to Florida, unless you gathered up a couple others between your Wisconsin move out and Florida. And you said you probably wouldn't want to do the ones you're at right now, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I'm not trying to do all of these, but since I've been back to Florida, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going into number 5 already.
God bless. Oh, hey, what's
Just in
up,
this year.
bro? Thank God you're alive, man. What's going on, man? How
Oh,
you
he-
doing? You okay? I always get concerned about you California brothers. If you ain't burned to the ground, you got swallowed up by the earth.
Cat. Skiddle-it-do. Out you go.
Well, if are you gonna count those 5 then? Are you gonna like just?
No.
Or are you gonna debate on which ones you want
I'm
to
gonna
keep?
count. I'm gonna count probably one of those, and then I'm gonna count the new one in April because that's gonna be a more permanent place. So I'm probably gonna count the first one when I came back,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna count the last one basically. So I'll basically have 2 here, and I think I might already have some in Orlando already, or at least reserves. I don't know.
Yeah, because when I'm looking back on this and I'm like, well, on the moves in the closure sheet, which is at the back of the installation, you have Key Vista and Cove, and that's it. Everything else I've closed. So yeah, I guess I've been through a lot of closures. Or most of mine. Well, that's not really true. Like a third of mine are moves, but there's a few closures in there.
Yeah, I just kind of want to because the ones in Quantico, like I could make those into like 1 to 2 bases. The ones at Cherry Point and that area, I could make into like 2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly.
How I wanted to do
That's
that.
exactly what that's how I did my moves around too. Is like,
Because
so I'm
I've
going
got,
to
like, I've probably
conglomerate
got,
a few at different places. So yeah, I got you.
Because I've got like I don't know how many in that eastern North Carolina area. I've got a ton over there.
Oh, you had some too, Oe? Did you put them on the sheet, or did you put them on the map, or what happened? Good thing the fires weren't there though. Sorry, I didn't comment on it, but yeah. See, all y'all are trying to add some reserves, which is good, because if you just hop around, like I could have added a couple reserve bases too, except I didn't get a chance to build nor fly while I was gone, because I was going to get a Vegas one, I was going to do a Boston one, because that's where I've been the past year, but didn't do anything flight related in either place, even though I stayed for technically 36 hours, so they could count, but I usually like to do some kind of flying. Hell, if you even build counts.
At minimum build, yeah, like at minimum build.
And stupid thing, I didn't
what I
bring
try
any
to do.
paper. Should have borrowed some from the hotel.
That's what I'm saying. Like, go grab some from the office, from the front desk.
Well, Boston, it wouldn't have worked so well, but to be able to fly out there in Vegas, that would have been, that'd have been nice. It would have been really nice to capture a video. Fudge! I'm going back anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah, I almost went to Vegas this year, but I'm not going.
Oh, trust me, I did not go to be a part of the Vegas culture. I just went to actually say I've been there. I partook of absolutely nothing there.
Yeah.
I just
there's an event that I was going to go to that was being held in Vegas. There's a gaming event that's being held in Vegas at the end of July that I was going to go to, but I'm not going to it.
You added it to the map, but not sure if it posted. I was wondering about that too, because I was actually trying to get my latest base up in there, And like for some reason I couldn't. Like it was like it posted it on there, but I could not change the color, and I couldn't move it up for any odd reason. I was like, what the hell is going on with this damn thing?
Yeah, I wonder if they're phasing it out or something.
No. I mean, like I've been able to tweak it all this time. You haven't been able to put anything on there for you either, have you?
I haven't tried. I'll be honest, I haven't tried.
Oh.
I mean, I've been in and out of the hospital last couple.
Well,
months.
that's true. Yeah, you kind of really had a thing. So.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't even bring that up.
I'm on like freaking stupid amounts of medication right now, but it's fun.
And KA's been kind of stagnant, so I'm not moving around wise. You ain't been any place, so.
Well, yeah,
I know
and
you got a lot of exploits going on, man. What's up with that? That's all you talking. He's like you talking about. Well,
Yeah,
you see
I
it.
see
You
that.
see it, right?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I got chat up.
Okay. I didn't know we were going to do it this way. I had to change the layout of how this was going to go. I had to put up the chat in the back window here.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not. I mean it's no.
But they can hear you, so it don't matter.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Good to have Mark back on the show for a while now.
Yeah.
And you got, like you said, it's good. You got to be excited about getting a new place too. Like you said, new base,
Dude,
new changes.
I'm so excited about getting to a bigger place and getting out of these small, little, tiny, cramped spaces.
Is it going to have
Like
a
I've been
yard
living
so you can fly?
No, well, not a yard because it's a townhome. So obviously, you know what? Like it's kind of like the apartment complex
Okay.
at Raintree.
Okay.
gonna
Okay.
have
Got
places
you. Yeah.
Fly, but not a yard.
Okay.
It's a neighborhood in a sense.
So you'll be able to have
And it's
a
got-
spot that's
it's
like
got some open-
not too far to get to.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be right down the street. I like literally walk to like close to the clubhouse area. There's a big open field over there, by the clubhouse and stuff.
Right. Okay.
I'll be able to set up and start recording and figure out like what's what
What's what?
and actually and like build and get stuff going because we're gonna stay at this place for a good while before we buy something.
Well, yeah, because the
we
prices are
hope
still
to-
ridiculous, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but if you've seen what's going on in DC though, not to get off tangent, but
No, yeah, no, I have, yeah, I know.
yeah, and that's all because of all the stuff that we're going through. So it's just insane. They listed hundreds and hundreds of houses like within the last 30 days because of all this. So it's been a mess. But yeah, I mean,
people looking for houses
I'm
need to go to
safe.
DC.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's crazy because that was one of the locations that they were possibly going to send me, and I was going to fight tooth and nail not to go
Yeah,
because there's no point. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say there's no point. Like, it's stupid to spend all the money that they're going to spend to move me to a location when there's not really a lot of space for everybody there anyways. I mean,
Put
you
that
don't
one out
have that much. Yeah, you don't have that much building space to put everybody. But it is what it is.
it is what it is.
I'm staying here in Orlando. That's all that I know. And
UNOE on the
Whether I
opposite coast,
still-
man.
yeah, whether I still get to work from home or not is going to be determined between me and the supervisor, and then we'll go from there. Because I can always put in a request and it'll get approved. Because I've got connections, thankfully.
Right?
I can put in I can put in a request. It'll get approved, and I can work from home anyways. Which I didn't want to be the asshole and be like, I'm not coming back into the office because I just don't want to. So I'm going to put in a request and get it approved. I never wanted to do that. I wanted to try to conform to the system for a minute, see exactly what the plan was, and then decide whether or not I was going to file the paperwork to work from home still. Because originally I was gonna resign and quit, if they were gonna make us move.
What do you mean their performance
then-
is limited?
So
Yeah.
But yeah,
You're
but I'm not doing
you're
that.
relatively small fleet. That's still enough to upkeep the active duty fleet, right?
You talking to me?
No, all he's talking about, he's got a relatively small fleet, but he's working the export stuff. So
I mean, I always thought he had a large. Well, he's usually got like a lot of one ofs, right?
yes, yes.
So I mean, in theory, small, yes, but unless he's retired a bunch of those,
He does
I
go
mean, you can
through,
still have.
like his. Oh, your tendency, as well, we all know, like your tendency is to go through, like you're very prolific. So you make one and you retire within 3 years, which is something we all have to be like really looking into. I've had this chat with the guys recently because I told them I'm retiring 5. And this
so
right here,
crazy
I know I'm
because
making the how to
honestly,
build
like,
right now, but this right here, she's gone.
Mine
Actually,
don't have the
technically.
flight time though. Mine don't have nearly the same amount of flight time as yours that are the same age. So
Well,
that's
I know,
the
and
biggest
it's like,
difference.
well, the thing I gotta remember is you can build any one of yours at any one given time. It's just whether or not they're in like frontline active duty squadrons. We've got a reputation to uphold, so we got to be combat ready. We should have the most modern thing. We can always build our old ones whenever the hell we want, But as far as filling the squadrons up, that's different. So.
Well, some of us can build them whenever we want. Some of us can't because ain't no way I'm able to
You know what I
build a
mean?
Draco. Ain't no way I'm able to build a Draco anymore.
Ain't no way you want to build a Draco anymore.
No, I mean I'd like to actually try to build it, but I mean I don't even honestly remember how to build that.
How can you forget how to build that, dude? Draco was simple. Draco was simple as crap.
But it was so crappy.
Yeah.
It was so crappy that it worked. But I don't know if it would work if I built it correctly.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? That's one of the things we as paper airplane creators, we can do that. Like, it's not like something that real life can do because chances are you're not going to modify a Sopwith Camel from World War I with a head-up display, modern guns, and a jet engine. You can't do that. You can't do it in real life, but we could. We could modify our stuff. I don't exactly know how we go about it, but we could do it.
Yeah, but Draco wasn't even a Delta Diamond though back then.
No, dude, Draco was a fucking boss, man.
It was literally almost like a phase.
Yeah, closest to, or a Diablo would be a better guess, or a better
Diablo
substitution.
was better, but it was the half sheet that was the difference. Draco was made out of a full sheet.
Yeah.
And it was honestly this piece of shit. But
Are Zetas on the aircraft sheet? I gotta check this out. Hold on.
I thought so. Yeah, I thought so. Because I remember seeing those.
Yeah. Okay.
But we need to also work on the data back end too, because those. I mean, you've got the spreadsheets, but you also got the individual tabs for each thing that we need to kind of work through.
I know, and you did say like to put it on the database, it's actually better to not tab like the Excel sheets.
Yeah, like we're gonna have to separate them out.
All right. Yeah.
And it's gonna suck. To an extent, it's gonna suck, but I think we'll be fine once I get moved and I get everything set up. I'm gonna work on getting the stuff to be able to build it.
Okay.
Because we already started the framework of it, but I know it's going to change some, and we can see what we're going to do.
Well, that's all that matters. As long as we can, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like I mean, we're going to be able to change it on the fly, anyways, which is the biggest thing that I tell people. When I'm at work, I tell them I'm like, look, if you want to make a change, like don't complain, don't sit there and deal with the problem. tell me there's something you don't like it, and let's talk about it, because then I can sit there and fix it in 5 minutes if that's, depending on what it is. So that's the benefit of building internally, in this program, is that we can build internally and we can make changes internally and we can update them on the fly.
On the fly, right? Okay. Yeah, hell yeah.
And it doesn't have any downtime. That's the thing. Like on the back end, I can make the updates and changes, and the only thing that it's affected is the front end doesn't get the change until I publish it.
Holy sweet
But it's
Jesus.
still open and it's still open and access. Like you could still open and access the front end even while I'm making updates on the back end. It doesn't ever have downtime unless Microsoft is down altogether. Like the whole system has to be down, which is a big problem in itself, which they have redundancy, as we know. So most likely we're not going to go down, because even at work, like we rarely have downtime within Microsoft.
Even I remember that shit. Yeah.
Because the old servers, they used to have like 1 or 2 main servers, and they would go down until they could get you moved over to the other server. Like all the connections moved over, and then they'd have to move them back and everything else. But now everything's so smooth in the transition, like the way they have their stuff set up, that if you go to access it, if one's down, it's just going to route you to the next one that's available. Now your lag may be longer than you're used to, but that's all you're going to notice is the request time from the server. And as long as you've got decent internet, you're not going to have an issue.
How is it? Yeah. Yeah. How is it that I can't find? Damn it.
Oh, I don't know if it cut out on me.
Oh, there's OE. Okay. I'm trying to track down that Cobra. OE, that Cobra you're talking about, that's the recent one that you rolled out the 19th that's active, correct? That's a big one. Like, why? Oh, man. The aircraft sheet is like way freaking... Okay, it's not behind, but it's a little bit behind the one that I've got. I need to update the one that I've got. I'm really, really bad about that. Like, I update the one that's on my drive and forget to, keep it consistent with the one that's in the shared drive for IVPAC. Although I do populate my hard drive one with the one from the Google Drive.
Yeah. Yeah, which that's the whole benefit of the database.
That's why we need the damn database.
Yeah, we're not going to have an issue with that once we do that, because once we move over the fresh static data, then we direct everybody to that database, and then we're good, and say, hey, this is where you're going to put everything.
The Dash 6 isn't even in the aircraft list, or at least am I not seeing it right? He's talking about the Strato Eagle Dash 6. I can't find it. Is that not in here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It might be in the shared one.
I'm looking. I got both of them up.
You said 1 1/4.
I'm the last one to have updated the... Whoa, shit. Where's that? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I'm the last one to have updated the one in the shared drive, which means the one on my hard drive should be hyper accurate, while the one that's in the shared drive is accurate. So if I put the one on my hard drive into the shared drive, that should make them both hyper accurate, as what everybody's put in as of right now. So I'm going to do that. That way it's up to the minute, because it's current right now. Like, I've made all my adjustments.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, once we get everything in there...
Which, that's the segue. We're talking about the database. The database will fix this.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's going to be accurate, like, when we put everything over. But what we're going to be able to do is allow each contractor to be able to update and edit their information on each of their designs.
Right. Okay.
So they're going to be able to update the information on the fly and change anything and and then any new information that comes in will automatically put those like the rollout dates and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I guess in a theory, like if you submitted it today, you could have made it yesterday and not put it in the database the day that you created it. So we're still going to have you manually select certain days, but like it's going to generate onto the spreadsheet into the back end, like once you fill out the stuff that we're going to need, and then save it. And then it'll show up on the contractor end, it'll show up on the, the all category, if you will, for everybody. And then you'll be able to connect that plane to a base. We'll be able to see it once I figure out how to do the maps in there. We'll be able to see it on a map. So it's going to be super, super, like taking all of that and condense it into one thing. That's the beauty of what I'm trying to do. And is honestly why they love me at work, because I take like 15 different things and I condense it down into, I'm basically Doge before Doge was created. And I'm not necessarily ticked off that they created that branch of government and are taking credit for it, but that's been my argument for at least the last 5 years. I've been screaming about efficiency. And I'm like, we need to do it. Like, why are we doing this? Like, we should be doing it this way. Like, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, because maybe I'm not seeing something. But at the same time, like, if what I have is all of the information that we are privy to, and this is what we have, why are we doing it here and here and here? Why not combine all three things into one and just update it in one place and then send it to all the locations that it needs to go to? Like, so that's what we're going to do with the database. And we call it a database because that's what it's been for the last decade.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows what we're talking about when we say that at this point.
But it's not necessarily just a database at this point. It is going to be an all-encompassing system.
Dude, that thing's been on the back burner for a while.
It has, but I will say that I'm getting to a place to where I'm going to be able to put more time into it. I have the funds to be able to go out and purchase what I need to purchase. And then, like, it's going to take off. Like, that part of it is going to just, once I get it, we'll have it built and up and running within, I think, I'm going to say 90 days, just because it's going to take a minute to build out, because I got to build it from scratch. But I think we'll be testing it within 30 to 45 days. And then at the 90-day mark, we're going to be running, is what I really think, once we get it launched.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, I got Laurel Grove up on there. So you said a couple. I only see the Laurel Grove, so I don't know if it took any of the others. You may have to redo it, but I was able to make the adjustment, and I noticed you're waiting for an actual regiment number, so I can get you the regiment number. Do you have a stand-up date for that? I mean, I know it says years previous, but like, give me a rough guesstimate on the date so I can get it in there properly. It did take it. It's in there. Sorry, Mark. We're just like I said. We're doing three things at once.
No. Yeah, and my brain's thinking database stuff because that's what I do.
Oh, no. So, I mean, like, it's good because, again, like, all the crap that we're doing would be easier linkable for all the members and all visuals to have it,
And
so
what
that's what
else
made me
would be
think
cool?
about it in the first place.
I just thought about it. is that our company code that's attached with our design, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like how we go that route.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it auto generate the next one. Like when you go to click on add new design, it's gonna auto generate the very next one. And then if you want to make it a subset, see this, my brain is going 100 miles an hour. I love it. If you want to make it a subset of a previous one, we'll have a little toggle switch or a button or something that you'll click to turn on, and it'll allow you to select the subset version, like the primary plane that's already on your list, and then it'll give you the next subset of that based on the coding that you as a contractor have set.
Nice. Okay.
So if you like to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it'll do that. But if you like to do A.1, we can do A.1, you know, for sub or like for like the subset. Or if you want to do V2, it'll do whatever we decide for the subsets. That's what we'll do. Like for each contractor, we'll have a different way to set it up.
Oh, damn it. Trolley Way is in there. It's got BR28.
And if you want to, and if we want to get to the point where you want to do different ones, like we can figure that out and do that, and then not be a mandatory requirement to have all of them the same V2, V3, V4. Like if you want to do a 2.0 versus a V2, like that'll be an option as well, and we can work through that and make those modifications.
Nice. Okay. See, that all looks like that sounds cool because that sounds like it'll come together. You know.
Oh yeah, it's gonna work really well. Like that's gonna push us to the next level, to where like it's gonna be up to the person like it is right now to update everything, but it's gonna be easier to update everything because you only have to update it in one place now. And it's gonna push the information to the rest of the system once you add it or you update it. And then it will show up on the map because you're going to be able to link it to whatever base you want to link it to, so it'll show up on the map. If you want to add a new base, it's going to link to the map based on whatever address you put in. You know, whatever, I should say whatever, like it'll have a primary and a secondary location.
All right.
Primary location will be pin like latitude, longitude location, and then the secondary will actually be the base information. Is what it'll do. I thought we already did an Exile tutorial.
Probably.
We did that like years ago.
Bobby's desperate to get that thing right. He wants to get it right so bad. I bet Dalton's probably like laughing right now. I mean, he's actually in the background, you know. He's watching over us, as he would be. But he's at work, so he can't be in here yet.
Yeah, he was chatting a little bit ago.
He's probably still like listening in. Just
yeah, he's probably working and listening.
2009. I'm gonna have to update the installation sheet again, because if Laurel Grove was in 2009, I'm gonna have to down a little bit of the regiments. Yeah, I'll fix that. I'll fix that. See, my paperwork job is never done.
Yeah, but that's the information like we'll be able to display for them, and they'll be able to see that it's wrong and they can update it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it'll be their own view. Like nobody's
Sorry.
gonna be forced
Mark
to
that
do
back.
anything, but like they're gonna be able to go in,
And
see the information, make the changes as they make them, you know, as they see, like they get to them and they find them and they're like, oh, this date is wrong, or this is wrong, or you know, oh, I forgot, like, oh, I selected
Planes,
today
y'all.
as the first flight, but then I went back and realized that, oh, I flew yesterday instead. You know, they went back and decided to change it to a different date. They'll be able to go back and change those dates and change the rollout. Like if you like when we went back and changed rollout dates for some of your stuff.
yeah, like I just had
Remember
to
when
do
we had-
Because of Javelin? Yeah.
Yeah. Now the numbering side of it is still going to be a little finicky. And we're going to have to figure that out. Like I'll have to figure out how that code is going to work. But
the hell.
what I can do is I think I can get it to give it the correct number.
Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot.
So if you go back and change the date of something and it gets put in front of another one and it bumps the date, it bumps the number of the plane, like you'll be able to see this one is that. Now we may have to distinguish with, I know how you do like the 2-letter fin codes.
Yeah.
We may have to change that. I'm not saying we have to change that a little bit. I'm going to give the option to change that a little bit so we can distinguish between each plane. Kind of like fin codes are technically designed.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
no,
it's
I
not going
got
to
you.
be
Yeah.
much. It's not going to be much of a difference. It'll still be two. It'll still be the 2-digit, 2-letter thing, but we're going to have to associate something else with it to give it a unique identifier in a sense for that plane, to then know that, oh, this one was built this date. It's now, this fin code is now number 100 instead of 105.
That could get in depth because that would track every one of our aircraft.
It's going to, because that's in theory what we're doing anyways.
Yeah. Right. Right.
We're doing that anyways on the spreadsheet. We're tracking each individual number because we know which one, like what number we're at. Or at least
Sky
I
Warriors?
I thought we were doing that, right? Or is it just you and I that are doing that?
No, I think everybody's doing that. I mean, like, you might be lax about it for a certain degree, but I think we're doing that. Yeah. Sky Warriors.
But like the main one's not tracking that though, right?
Right.
Okay. But I still think we can do that individually and get to a spot where it will basically tell us what number to put on the plane.
That's cool.
So
Yeah,
that way
I do have that. Okay.
We shouldn't mess up at that point.
We shouldn't. No, you're right. It should cover itself. Yes.
Because what it'll do is once you add it, it'll generate the fin code. Once you add it, it'll generate the fin code. And oh man, I got so many ideas.
It hurts, doesn't it, man? When they start rolling
It
out.
does because it's like, okay, so you have the form. Let's talk in generic sense. You have the form, right? You fill
Okay.
out all the information, name of the plane, all this stuff, and say, okay, yes, this is going. I build a new design today that's similar to something else, and then I go back and decide, oh, this is going to be a subset. Well, when I change that in the system, it's in that form. I'm going to hit save. It's going to give me a pop-up box, and it's going to tell me, hey, this is what it is. This is the fin code. This is the number of the plane. It's going to be a little pop-up box that pops up and gives you
It'd
the
be like a
information.
request. Would you like to base it here?
Yeah, well, you're going to tell it, it's going to give you the options based on the plane that you select and the role that you give it. It's going to give you only those options. That's the beauty of a system like that. You
Yeah.
can't put a fighter at a cargo base. You're not going to be able. Well, I mean, you could, but you're not going to.
But again,
theoretically
we don't
speaking, you
suffer from the
shouldn't.
real world problems like that, so we can do that. I mean, that's going to be totally up to
True.
like whoever, the contractor, any one of us that would choose to do that.
True, but at the same time, like, if you only have one or two bases, I guess you would theoretically put everything there,
Yeah.
and you would just have subsets of that base.
He's not. He's not picking on you, man. Just because you got one base that has like everything at it, but actually, you're talking about diversifying.
Yeah, see? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
know. Okay, but
I get that. I get that. I get that people, some people have only one or two bases.
That's
and that's-
entirely their
I mean,
choice. I think it's more fun to have multiple bases. They might think it's more fun to
not have to worry about all that mess. So I get it.
Or
Yeah,
like you and
like
I,
that's
Martin,
totally-
you know the same situation. It's like my base in Arizona. I got a little bit of everything there because I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going back. And if I'm going back, I'm not sure if I'm going back to live. So I put like 9 squadrons there. There's bombers, there's fighters, there's cargo planes because...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you can determine what you want at whatever base. Like it's not an issue. Like you can still put
Yeah.
everything at one base.
Yeah,
You can just create the squadrons. But that's going to allow us to be able to track everything a little bit better, and it'd be easier to enter everything. That's really what the ease of it is. Not only just for the back end and tracking the data, but the front end of entering the data and getting it into the system and just easily. Are you building a freaking phase?
Yeah.
This is one from a show that we did like about a month ago. And
Like I can just tell. That's the thing. Like
You
I can
just
just tell at this point. Like when I see those cuts, I'm like, yeah, that's a phase. I see the wings and I'm like, yeah, that's a phase. And you're also caressing it like that because that's one of the few planes that you do that so much with because it's so finicky.
oh yeah, but of course. But this one's going to be completely
Javelin
different.
would not care.
Yeah, well, this is going to be completely different. The show, the tech, actually, I think it was a tech talk. I showcased the nose, especially for you, as a matter of fact, so you should have caught that one. But it's got a different nose, and I'm not going to give this one my typical anhedrals. This one I'm going to give it the wing curve treatment.
Yeah.
So this one's
Is
going to
that
be...
is that the newer one?
No, it's not. This is still a basic 3.
That's what I thought. I was like, it doesn't look anything fancy.
I mean, I could turn it into something fancy really quick, and I was thinking about it, but I don't.
Well,
Again,
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
want to
you just need
overload
more
one airplane with
custom-
tech. That way, when I fly it, it's outstanding. I'll be like, so what piece of tech did that? I love tech, but by the same token, you can't put 8, 5, 3 pieces on there and then be like,
Ah, shit, it sucks. Or, ah, shit, it's great. But
which piece did it?
Well, that's true.
Damn, she's really kind of messed up.
That's the difference with it. You got to kind of play around with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
that's
mean,
where the design itself, and then okay, you know what, like, and I think what we're going to be able to do also is upload pictures in there of the
that
plane
would be
itself.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be able to upload like pictures of the plane, like in the profile, the like for the profile picture of the plane, and see, oh yeah, that's my Nova, that's my Phase, that's Javelin, that's whatever, you
It's
know,
not turning out right.
and then we'll be able to use those for the things like
Yes, it does.
the awards and the birthdays and all that stuff.
Dude, I hate to say it, but if I were to give Abby a quiz on my aircraft, he'd probably pass with 100%. That boy knows his stuff. Dude, he's rattling off numbers like crazy. I'm like looking back, I'm like, is he right? Yeah, goddamn, he is right.
Yep.
You're right, the nose of 414 does look like this.
Yep. Yeah.
However, the nose of 414 is an honest to goodness phase one with a little added tech, so it did not come out like this. It was folded in from the start. This one got folded in after the fact. If you watched the tech talk, you saw what I meant.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm not digging on you about that one. What I was just talking about was like something that you or I thought about and forgot about, and like I also, since I forgot, I didn't tell you about it. But like one thing about folding is when you do it. Like, you know, like you consider folding your nose. A lot of times when you fold the nose, you just figure like you make this plane like it's done. You have this nose and you say like, what if I just fold this backwards, right? Well, the whole point of this one was this wasn't done at the end. This was done midway through the folding procedure. So there's a little less weight to a nose even though it's folded back in. This one's going to suck.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it doesn't really have much to it, and
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I don't know if the curve is enough.
And no, it's like looking at it with that nose and then that curve, I can almost guarantee you this thing's going to suck. But you have to have some suck to have some good, so I like everybody knows the phases are iconic, but not every one of them has been great. Not every one of them has been great. It's been a long, hard road to make 723 of these bastards.
Yeah, yours are so finicky that's why you have so many of them.
Yes. But again, just same reason. They're also easy to test technology on. So.
Well, that's true. Which is why things are gonna change. I'm so excited. Gato. Vamos.
It's gonna be awesome, dude. It's gonna be freaking awesome. What is the date? The 19th, right?
19 Feb.
God bless it.
Yeah, we're already halfway through this month, dude. This is insane. Actually, we're like 2/3 of the way through this month.
Yeah, basically. Because it's February.
Oh yeah, because we got, 10 days? Not even.
Okay, that's the sloppiest writing I ever did because the pen wasn't cooperating, and I already taped it on up.
Yeah.
This thing's gonna suck because there's too much weight up here.
Oh yeah, 10 days?
Oh, hell yeah, this plane sucks ass. Can't do it. Oh, can't do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. I can't count.
See, so I had good intentions, but the wrong kind of aircraft because with a folded nose, there's just too much weight to only
That's
give
what I
it
was thinking.
the curved wing.
Well, or at least a little more curve, to where they're more like anhedrals, but they're not like folded in.
Yeah, but then I start reducing the amount of like fight back that the aircraft can have to fight. It's a tendency to spin out of control because the weight of the nose is too freaking great. What also sucks
but
is
what
the
if you took
papers
like
of
a pencil, or what if you took like a pencil or something like like aluminum straw or something and rolled it in there just a little bit and
Oh,
gave it a
that
little
would,
bit more
yeah,
curve.
that would be.
Give it a little bit more curve at that angle that it needs, and then see if it works without having to fold. I'm just saying, because technically you fold it, it's an anhedral. If you roll it, it's a curved wing.
Right, right.
It's not folded. It's not a folded anhedral. It's a curved.
It's not as effective when it comes to a point like on these. That
Well, I mean,
that's
it does
highly
like that.
effective.
I know.
That is a badass little plane. I love that thing.
Yeah,
God, I love that thing.
I do like that. I think it's awesome.
Oh, speaking of
But-
being excited, that's the Axe program. OAE, I took a little page out of your book and started my own little export program, which, if you peeked in on the videos, I'm sure you heard about. But I got some exciting news myself. Mark, you'll like this because you grew up with this plane. You remember Banshee, right?
Do I remember? You're ridiculous.
It's a joke. But you remember
Yeah,
that,
oh,
like,
yeah.
it's basically been in my force as long as you have been in the Corps, right? And you know that,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if you know, but I was considering retiring it because it's it's that bubble aircraft. Right now I've made it basically my eldest. Well, I played with it at work the other day and I came up with something. And I came up with something new for Banshee. And Banshee no longer flies like a Banshee does. Banshee now has a glide long enough to be a freaking control fighter. Because of this. This is the new Banshee Type4 that rolled out.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So like it's what the
This one is wild. This one doesn't fly like Banshee. This one is ridiculous, dude. This thing glides. I have no idea how. I have no idea why.
See, I look at that and I see triangle and diamond. That's what I see.
Well, Banshee's nothing like that. The only reason it looks like this is because it's been cut. I don't even know if I've got an original Banshee up here.
Dude, I just realized that. Dude, where did you get that idea?
Which one?
Let's pick one and let's.
Well, okay. Hold on. I don't even know if I've got a Type 1 around here.
Because I know you haven't had that on any of the other planes.
Yeah, I don't even know. Okay, here. This is the closest thing to a Type 1 I've got sitting here right now. This is a Type 3. And actually, this is one of the original Type 3s because that's folded over and taped. So
yeah, that's different. Yep.
Yeah, because Banshee, this is supposed to be straight. The original Banshee, this was straight. So you didn't have this. So when I took the Type 2,
you turned it more into you turned that more into a diamond.
Yeah. So exactly. But because it shifts the Banshee's weight to a center point here, this is really the heaviest point of the aircraft, not the nose. That's why it makes it a stunted. That's why it makes it an attacker, short range.
Yeah.
So
but
Type 3
back a little bit more.
Yeah, Type 3 cut that out. And this was the end result of that. So this plane is a direct, it's still built the same. It's just this one's got, they've all got the tailplanes now. But this one's got the added, this has started to become new because the cuts allowed that section to be free. The horns, never mind. That's actually, you know what those are? That's the cutoff being put back into the aircraft. I just did that for fun. This was the new part.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that either.
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, the fact. The whole damn thing. That's why it's a Type 4.
Well,
like I said, this thing. You see the date? It just rolled out. This is the Type 4. This is brand spanking new. And she's
You have never cut into the wing pocket or the wing itself like that and created fins.
No, I haven't. And I figured, like, now, no better time like the present.
Dude, that is insane. I would never do that, and I like that.
This thing is awesome. You would not. I need to show you a video of like
Yeah, I
how
see
this
Avi
flies,
really wants the
and then
X-Pac.
how this thing flies.
He's
You would not
spinning.
believe what this thing is capable of. This
Well,
thing
that looks
flies. This
insane.
one here, the original, which is from 2010. This thing flies like every Banshee's ever flown. This is number 38. This one flies like a wyvern.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what. Like those were similar in size and similar in shape.
Yeah. The last time I did something like this, I actually put it on a phase, but I put them like here, and they were this big. They were like a quarter of the wing. That did not work too well. I mean, if I were to make them this size, this has got potential. I think a lot of planes could probably add something like this and not hurt their flight. And they do not work up, but they work great down. That's why these are down. If any of y'all see that and are going to try it, I highly recommend you try it down before you try it up. Up, and this plane is basically like this plane. When they go down, this plane is like this plane. It's crazy the difference.
What if you didn't cut the fin and put them up? Would it still?
Which fin? Those or those?
The back fin.
The back
so if you
fins?
didn't cut the back
that was
fin,
done. That was initially how this one was built. I didn't have these on first. I had a regular Banshee without this, and all I did was cut that. It didn't really change much. But I mean, it flew like.
But I'm talking about putting them up.
Not like the Type 4.
But putting them up didn't work.
No.
Oh.
It's still
mostly
kind of
because you already have the front up as well. You've also got the front strakes up too. So that's That's probably that's so weird.
Well, I mean, like if this one, like that's just because the pockets happen to be up on top of this one. Like this one, the pockets are down below. If this one was cut, those strakes would be down below on this bird, and I may have one like that. But yeah, it all depends on where they are.
Try that. You could try that, reverse folding that and putting the strakes down on the bottom, and then see if those fins would go better on top.
Like this one's got it too. A lot of times it happens to be the ones on top. I don't know why.
I just don't know.
This one's got a lot of
so
fuselage.
small. Yeah, that one's got a. Yeah, that's huge.
But this one flies pretty good. For a Banshee, this one just flies outstanding for a non-Banshee. This one's ridiculous.
We can't call him, Avi. He's at work.
He's listening in anyway. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I definitely would recommend, like, if you're going to keep it small, but if you've got a big enough wing area, that would probably work on just about anything. I'd venture to say that would work on anything. Ironically enough, I was initially going to build a Javelin and try something like this.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I have a few that I think I could do that with.
Oh, yeah, you could do that with
How did you cut that?
With this one, actually, it was because I had my razor knife. Like, literally. Had the razor knife, so I had to, she was like this. I just cut, you could see the pen mark. I actually designed, just drew it into there, and then used the razor knife to cut through both wings at the same time. And of course, it does have the wing curl.
You just exactoed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, I exactoed it.
Gotcha. Got to use brand names, bro.
and like this one, I venture to say probably doesn't need pacer. So these will fly like this one does with pacer, but without pacer, this one flies just.
I will say that the front of the nose is wicked too because of the horns that it's got.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Those little horns.
I had no idea it was going to turn out that way. Like I said, that literally is the cutoff triangles from this right here. I just stuck them back in the bird. It was an effort to actually add some weight back into the nose, and it seems to have worked. Oh, I'm sure he could read you, Abby. I'm sure. And of course, this leaves you with a lot of playroom because you could like make these bigger, make these smaller, make these different locations. I mean, you could actually, I don't know how good it would do, but you could make them a thin sliver that goes all the way out here, you know? But that would probably start to weaken the structure of the wing.
It might, but at the same time, I mean, if it's got a wide enough wing, I think that it'll just help.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Kind of, yeah, I don't know. That is very interesting.
And it sets on the, like, upside down, it sets on these, like, landing gear. Nothing, the tailplane and the strakes are holding it completely off the ground.
But the question is the tail, is it like, is it mushing the tips of the...
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Not too much. You can, not that you can kind of see with this, but, like, you can kind of see a little bit of a curve.
Those 90 degrees? What if you folded those tips 90 degrees?
These?
Yeah, the tailplane.
Oh, the tailplane?
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, just a tiny bit. To, you know, create a flat surface so it doesn't, it's going to bend them anyways. So the question is like, well, what does it do if you fold those 90 degrees?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
What if you fold the tip? Like, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the tiniest little bit,
Indeed,
like
similar.
a millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters. I'm like, tiny bit. Just, because that's, it almost looks like that one closest to the camera, or I should say closest to you. It looks from the angle on stream, it looks like that one's flat.
It is, because that's where, like, you know how when you get a fold and you put the scissors on to cut the fold, every once in a while you don't get it dead on, so there's a little bit of you leave a little bit of the fold over. That's that fold. So yeah, this one does actually rest just slightly on the fold. This one does not because it's on the cut. So yeah, you can see it because you can see or you kind of can see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's kind of flaring the fin out a little bit because it's resting on the edge. I mean, you're right. Yeah. I could do that. I could make the fold. However, this plane doesn't usually typically land upside down. So is it worth it?
No.
I can try it, but it's not really worth it.
But I'm saying, I wonder what it would do flight-wise.
Oh, yeah, flight-wise? Yeah, you're right. I would try that.
I wonder what it would do flight-wise if you folded that just a little bit. And then, obviously, like, it helps where you're setting it upside down. It gives it a place to sit on that's actually not going to change anything. So it serves two purposes.
Right. No, yeah, exactly.
That's my thought on it. Because that other one, because it was cut, looked like it was already folded. Just the tiniest little bit.
I got one. This one's ridiculous. This one kind of sucks.
But you can't hear the game in the background, can you?
There's one back there?
Exactly. I got it turned down. I just don't want it coming through the stream.
Gotcha.
Trying not to copy.
Calm down, Abby. He's at work, bro. He's at work. See, like this one here? Look at this crap.
He's working 9 to 5, 5 to 9, 9 to 5.
This one, it's a little bit more of a disappointment than I thought it would be because this paper is actually thicker than regular paper.
It looks like cardstock. It looks like a chunky monkey.
Yeah, it is. You see what the nose is going through right there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That front end looks meaty.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very thick at the front end. Yeah.
That nose.
This is all like extremely hard to fold. That's why the strakes are so small. And the fold down here, yeah, it's just there's a lot of weight up here. There's a lot of weight.
Things looks like a jumbo crayon, dude. No joke. I'm not trying to talk crap about it, but it's like folding construction paper.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. This stuff is so thick. It is so
that's
thick.
What I'm saying. That looks super thick. Like you can't get but 2 folds on that thing, and I don't know how you did that.
I'm not entirely sure how it worked either, but it's.
I mean, if you did that on something thinner, I wonder how that would turn out. But it doesn't look. It looks like a rock. I want to have it right here and just hit the button right now.
And you should, because again, like a Banshee with that much weight, yeah, there's really nothing is going to save that plane. Nothing.
Yeah. That's interesting.
You got Panther in the Instructables? Now that you mentioned it, I wanted to see. Yep, there it is. Checking it out now.
Oh my God!
Oh, and that's the other thing we can do. We can link to the Instructables too from the database.
Oh, hell yeah, we can?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that is straight up. That's awesome.
You'll have to. I say link. You'll still have to do the stuff in Instructables.
Well, yeah, okay. But
you know what I'm
we
saying?
can,
You
right?
still have to create the Instructable, but you can have a link to the plane design in the database, and it take you to the website of the Instructable for that design. So it will. I mean, because honestly, that's the beauty of what I've been talking about for the longest time with the Microsoft side of this, is that anything that we can think of, it can be done. It's just a matter of how. That's it. It's not about, oh, you can or can't do this. It can be done.
It can be
just
done.
a matter of how.
Okay.
Because the design of I don't want to throw it out there, but Power Apps, the design of Power Apps is that it's really up to you as the designer and the developer to figure out what you want and what the customer wants. If you're building it for somebody else, whatever the customer wants, they can get. You just have to figure out how to provide that to them. Whatever that code requires is what you've got to do to make it happen. It may be a little bit more difficult on the back end, which that part is not, but we can say you don't have an Instructable for everyone. Well, you don't have one. But if you do have one, it'll have a link to the Instructable. And if you add an Instructable to it later, you can link it in later and update the information.
That was awesome. Yeah, that would be totally awesome.
It can be done. Same with pictures. You could upload a picture to it later if you don't have one right off the bat when you first design it. Most likely, you're not taking a picture of it when you first design it. You usually don't take a picture till later.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you design it, and then you add it in as a new design, whatever your new design code wants to be, or whatever you want to name it, we can customize it for each contractor. That's the beauty of it. Like you like to use ND for new design. I've started using ND for new design. But if you just want to straight up call it whatever, you can call it whatever.
Well, I mean, exactly.
Yeah, it's like that's just I kept it basic. Yeah, but all right.
Yeah. And then when you go back and you...
Does that make it look any better?
And that's the thing, you don't even have to name... Well...
The circus?
Here's how it would change slightly. Because when you create a new design, we normally name it ND101, whatever, you know what I'm saying? 1. If you turn around and turn that into the plane, it's going to get the next thing. It's going to get the next code in your structure.
Okay, right.
So the only difference is you figuring out how you want to write it on the plane and keep track of it on the plane, but the system will update that and change that automatically. Because all we have to do is hit a button.
So you make it sound so easy.
Yeah, because here's like, so think about it. So ND1 is your first new design of that year, and then you have 10 of those. So you have ND101 all the way through 110, ND110, right? That's in theory that's how it would be coded.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you have 10 of them, and say you're gonna put all 10 of them are gonna go active duty.
I know
You're gonna turn
that usually
around.
does catch me out. Yeah.
Yeah. So say you're gonna turn all 10 of them active duty, and even if you don't, like we could figure out how we're gonna do that later. If say you only want to use version 6, ND106 is going to turn active. Well, that's an easy answer. But basically, if you want to turn all of them active, then all you're going to have to do is go in and hit a button to say this design is now going active. It's going to automatically give it the next code, and it's going to automatically number all of them 1 through 10 with that code. So it's going to generate those codes for you.
That would help out a great deal. Like I said, I'm on the cusp of having that problem myself.
Yeah, and put all 10 of them in there. And then you can decide what you want to do with the. So say you only wanted to do ND106. You can go in and select ND106 and turn it active. It'll give it the next code, and it'll give it a code of 1 for whatever number that is, or whatever letter that is. Because that's technically what it is number 1. Because that's the only one that you're turning active.
Okay. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's technically not, it's not the 6th one. It is, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
1 through 5 were duds. Let's say 1 through 5 were duds and they were just crap, and you don't like them. You can turn around and turn all 10 of them active, and then retire 1 through 5, or destroy 1 through 5. Or you can decide whether or not you want to turn number 6 into number 1. It's going to be up to the individual contractor and how they want to keep track of it. I think that's an option.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, well, no, you have to use the other. No, this is number 6, so it's gonna stay number 6. Well, that's not the version of the plane that flew the best, and you want to keep, continue build upon. It's technically number 1, in a sense. 1 through 5 were duds, and 7 through 10 could have been duds. But number 6 was great.
But number 6 is great. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. Yes, exactly.
So you turn around and take number 6 and turn it active. It becomes number 1, and then you build off of that template for that, and then the rest of those become, whatever you build after that, and you decide to name that. They're gonna have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. It's similar to Panther. But it's going to be up to each individual contractor. So if you and I feel like, okay, well, technically I built 10 of these, they were all the intent, as I like to call it, the intent to build was 10. I built 10 and I used 10 different techs, but number 6 is the only one I like. Well, I can turn all of them active and then turn around and destroy or retire or whatever you want to call it, because we're obviously going to have multiple statuses for the planes. You can get rid of everything but number 6. And still it would be number 6, but 1 through 5 and 7 through 10 are no good. And so you have number 6, and then you have number 11. That's next.
Okay.
It's going to be up to the individual contractor, but the system will do either one of those depending on what button you click or how you select it. Is what I'm going to do. Like, it's just freaking awesome. Like, my brain is going 1,000,000 miles a minute thinking about this stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool, we can do this. And we're gonna be able to do it because, like, I'm gonna make it happen. Like, I'm tired of procrastinating. It's been a long journey. I've gone through a lot.
Tell me about it.
I've gone
For,
through a
for
lot.
all of us. For all of us. Not
You
just
know,
that.
But I'm getting to the second half of life, if you want to call it, and I'm getting ready to just sit back and have loads of fun.
Well, good.
And yeah, I mean, and it's taken me a while to get here. But finally got to the point. It's like, you know what? Let's do this. Like, we were trying to settle down before the government got stupid, anyways, and like really kind of, you know, get here to, you know, the Orlando area and just chill out and buy a house and chill. But they got stupid this last few months.
Yeah.
And kind of put things on hold. But now we're like, screw them. They'll figure it out. And then if I do move, it's going to be very slim chance, because my boss has already told me he's not going to move me. Like, he's not going to force me to move, because one, they don't have the freaking money. And unless Doge is going to fork over some money to every freaking agency to provide them money to relocate employees, they ain't got no money to move me anyways. So they can't just force me to move to Denver or DC or Atlanta or anywhere else other than where I'm at on my own dime.
Oh,
They
hell yeah,
can't legally
right.
do
No, I
that.
guess they wouldn't, would they?
They can't legally do that, because they would have a lawsuit so big that I wouldn't be the only one suing the shit out of them. So, and it's not that I would intentionally do that, but at the same time, like, I was hired to work from home. I wasn't hired to work in an office and then went to work from home. There's a big difference. So legally, they have to pay if they want me to move. And they have to pay a boatload of money to move me. And I say that because depending on where I'm going, it's going to cost them a lot of money. And my salary would change. So they'd have to, and that's the other thing that doesn't make sense. Any location that they move me from here, the 3 locations that they would move me, which would be Atlanta, DC, or Denver. Those are the 3 regional offices that are. Atlanta's the closest. Denver is where my boss is, and DC is technically who we work for. Those 3 locations pay way more than what I get paid now. So not only do they have to pay all the money for me to move, they have to pay to break the new lease that I'm about to sign, and they have to pay my new salary at that location for however long I'm there. And they didn't plan on that. So what I've come to the conclusion with the few meetings that I've had is that their plan is to keep everybody exactly where they are. And if there's an office that they can go into, they're going to go into an office that's close by. And if not, they're going to work from home until they decide to get promoted, retire, or quit.
Oh, we need that -6. Yes, yes, yes. Please do.
So then, at that point, then once they go to backfill the position, then they would relocate the position to wherever they need to relocate it, whether it be Denver, Atlanta, DC, or whatever, wherever they decide that position is going to go. then they'll fill it in that location. Is how they're going to do it.
But it won't move
Because
you around.
it saves them money. It saves them money because then if they hire in Denver and you apply to it and you don't live in Denver, you got to move. They're not going to pay you to move. So that's the difference in it, and that's how they're going to save the money and not pay
You.
me
Yeah.
or anybody really,
Okay.
and save. Honestly, they're going to save millions of dollars because I'm just one person, and there's hundreds of thousands of employees, and even though they've already fired and laid off some, and some have taken the buyout, there's still a lot of employees that fall into the category that I'm in because it's been 4 years. We live all over the place. We've all been hired all over the place. Like only 3 out of the 8 employees that I work with live in Denver. And that's just my small little team. But enough said on that bullshit. But yeah, like there's so much with the database that we're going to be able to do, and having it front facing, almost like a website, and having it integrated with like the newsletter and the website and everything, I think is what we're going to do. I think that's what we should do because it'll be like a one-stop shop for everything. I think we could integrate the website and the newsletter and everything that we were doing separately all into one location, into that database. Because it can do everything that we're trying to do. And then we just go in and update it and then publish it.
I mean, that's, yeah. The way to go. That's like, I mean, I'd like to say the wave of the future, but you know what I mean. It's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it makes it easier for both of us, honestly, is what it does. You know, it makes it easier on you. It makes it easier on me. You know, we'll both be able to edit and do whatever, you know, as admins, and then the rest of the contractors will be able to just modify their own individual stuff. They'll still be able to see everybody else's like information as far as like number of aircraft and all of these things, and we're gonna have even amazing more dashboards and visuals and stuff than we have ever thought of, because we're going to be able to get, you know, we're going to be able to do total count. We're going to be able to do average, like we can start doing crazy stuff like average builds per month, like average number of planes built each month. Like we're going to be able to come up with so many different crazy statistics that it's just insane.
That would be so
just
cool
gonna be,
to be able to break that down.
Yeah, because because the information's just gonna be
School
there.
is cool,
and all we have to do is create the back end collection of data real quick to gather the count, if you will. So, for instance, if 15 planes were built this month, you know, in 2025, 15 new designs were built, we're going to know that. And we're going to know that in real time. It's as real time as people updating it in the database themselves. So they have to, I will encourage the contractors that they have to go out there and put the information in. It's only as good as the information we're putting in, but it's going to be easier to put it in. So it shouldn't be hard, and we should have a very accurate count of what's going on per contractor. Like I'll be able to, it's going to be easier for me, definitely, because sometimes those spreadsheets get a little overwhelming for me, and I just I hate updating spreadsheets.
Tell me
boss
about
knows
it.
that.
I got to do it individually most of the time.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work. Updating a spreadsheet takes a lot of time. But if you have a system that where you just have to type in a little bit of information, click a few buttons, click a few
Hell
drop
there it
downs,
is.
and then hit submit, and everything else gets generated for you, then by all means, like, why not do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be able to figure out all the back end, like, and it's gonna take me some time to build it. That's why I say, like, I'm hoping to have it, like, once I get it and really start working it, I'm gonna be able to have it up and running in like 45 days. We'll be able to test it within 45 days, and then by like 60 and 90 days, we'll have all the kinks worked out and really be working it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome,
And
dude.
I think it's gonna be phenomenal. And then as we go,
I'm just gonna call it
we just-
Strato Eagle -6.
yeah.
I'm saving it. I'm saving it.
And then see, you don't even have to do that. He can go do that. And
Well, I
it
know,
wouldn't
but I like
solely
having
rely
it. You know
on
me, I
you to
like
make
having it
sure
in my collection.
Well, true, but you're going to be able to, and that's the other thing. You'll be able to download it if you want it. If you want it in a spreadsheet, you can download a spreadsheet. It'll be you can download the data. If you really wanted the data, you can download it by individual. You can download it as a whole collection. You can download, like, you'll be able to do all of that. It's just going to be a matter of ease of putting that information in and then getting it displayed for everybody, and then having all the other features work together to where we're not having to go in and say, oh, okay, this plane was built and I'm putting it at this base.
What OAE was just showing us.
Yeah, like, I have to go to like 2 different spreadsheets, and then I have to go to the map and put it in. If it's a new base, then I have to go put it on the map, where you don't have to do any of that. Like, you only have to put in the information one time, and that's where it's going to save time and effort. And I was going to say money, but it saves.
Yeah, you're not really worried about that.
Yeah, it saves that too, because I mean, you could go out and do other things.
628.
And if you're working per se, and you don't have the time to do it, but you have the, to update 15 things, but you can update 1 or 2 things fairly quickly. It'll save you time and money, because you can go do other stuff.
Would make it so much easier than trying to go find a plane.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. Like, you'll be able to know where each plane is stationed. You'll be able to know how many are stationed at each base, and you can kind of work your fleet how you want as a contractor. That's going to be the other part of it.
What the hell is she?
So, like, I have a really cool idea, and I have a lot of cool ideas, but I have some really, really cool ideas that I'm going to play around with, and we're going to make this happen very, very soon.
It's all coming together, baby. It's all coming together.
Yeah, because I think sometime within the next, like, couple of months, I'm going to just go ahead and chalk it up and buy it. Buy what I need to buy, and then build it and get it done with, and then we can start working on transferring everything over into the system.
Hey, I mean, if you can, you can. Whatever goes, right? Or,
Yeah.
I say that like that, I'm sorry, but whatever transfers, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, all the spreadsheets will go over. Like, we just have to do the manual labor of separating everything out, getting the data in a functional way on each column, because we may have to split some columns.
Hey man, exports.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it's possible we may have to do a little bit more work on our end to get some of those sub sheets split up and in a functional way to where we can.
Well, that's okay. I'm ready for that. We can do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to take much work. It's just going to take some work, and then once we have it, we can get that imported in, and then we can have it run from there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how all databases start. Once you feed them the data, but then once it's in there, you're straight. Yeah.
Yeah, once we get it in there, and the thing is like once we get it in there, just go in and update your information. Make sure you go in and update your dashboard, if you will, is what I'm going to call it. Your dashboard, your contractor dashboard is up to date.
It's gimmick.
That's really what it's going to be. It's going to be your dashboard.
This thing.
And it's gonna list so much information. Like I'm excited for it because I know what it's gonna look like because I've already kind of built this out in my mind, and I do this for my paycheck, but
more instant. More of a reason for you, yeah.
Yeah, and I can visually see what it's gonna look like, so I'm already excited for it. And I think once I get it built out and you see what it's going to look like, you're going to be like, why didn't we do this sooner? And then I'm going to even figure out how to print out. I'm thinking that we can even get it to print out little labels, like the roundels, as well as labels for the aircraft itself.
That would be hot. Seriously, yes.
Now you're going to have your own printer and set up for that.
Oh, believe me, I'll do that. If I'm going to get to do that, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not going to be a requirement for everybody. But you could even print it out on a sheet of paper and then just cut it and tape it or glue it, and it will change the plane a little bit versus writing it on there like that.
Much better.
At the same time, like, it's going to be easier to do.
Hell yeah.
Like, we may not even have to write the dates or anything on there anymore. We can get labels.
Oh, don't tease me with that. That would be kind of cool.
It'll be easy when we screw up a date and we got to go freaking redo it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if I got to do that, that's okay. But, I mean, like, you know when you build it, so... The worst part you can see happening would be, like, building 8 planes in one day and then getting them wrong in order if you were even worried about that. Because you built the same 8 of the same kind, right?
Well, sometimes you do. I used to. But
I haven't had that problem in a long time, but
yeah, you've kind of strayed me from that to where, like, I may build 8 planes, 8 new designs that day that are all the same design, but they don't all have the same tech.
Yeah. Yeah, I've come a ways in trying to get that shit straight, and every once in a while I got to re-audit my line, be able to figure out which one's which. But yeah, OAE's got it easy when it comes to that, right? I mean, you don't have to concern yourself. If you run through them and you only have a certain amount, then it's okay. Well, he did say he's got like about 50 to 100 on hand, so... The more you have, the worse it gets. Or if you don't keep track of which one was the latest one, that's worse. Believe me, that's the worst. That's the worst it could possibly get. Because if you don't track the latest one, Jesus Christ, then you end up going back and seeing like, oh wait, that's not the latest one. This is the latest one, and you got to renumber. Oh God.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like the system will be able to catch that mistake once you fix it, like manually. You fix it in the system, and like, oh, this new design was created this date, and it automatically gets this number. And it's not going to happen that often.
No, I don't think. Yeah, because even my situation hasn't happened that often. So yeah, I get that.
But adding more planes of the design are it's gonna be fun to build, but it's also gonna be a little bit time consuming and in depth. But I think because we've already gone through a lot of the scenarios in real life,
It won't
I'm
be
going to
as
be
rough.
able to knock out. Yeah, I'm going to be able to knock out a lot of it right at the beginning, because the fact that we've gone through a lot of these headaches, like serious headaches, when we just misnumber something, or we decide like, oh, this design was actually this design, just a different version. So now it gets this code. Well, changing that in the system is going to be much easier, and it's going to change all of them all at once.
Well, that's
And
cool. I look forward to that.
yeah, and then you're going to be able to just go in and see what the old, and that's the thing, is like we're going to be able to get the old information and then the new information. So I'm going to kind of archive information.
I like it.
Well, we kind of have to be able to kind of track that individual aircraft and get it to make sure that it's the right one. Because if I just say like these 15 planes are now Thunderbolts, and these 1 through 15 are now 275 through 290. Well, I know that number 1 is 275, but like for it to like when you see it visually in the system, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, number 1 is now 275. Like you're gonna have to see that and then decide whether or not you're going to print the label or handwrite it or whatever you're going to do to the plane to annotate the change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I got you.
And
Yeah.
and then if you want to see the others, like if you're doing a batch change, you can see the others if you want, or you can just see the first one. Because I'll give the option to see the rest of them, but you really don't need it once you get the first one.
That would be awesome, dude. Seriously. I mean, like, it sounds so freaking cool, you know?
Yeah. It's gonna be.
Don't sound too down on yourself, man. It'll be cool, dude.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be really, really. I'm really excited. Like I can't explain how excited I'm gonna be, because this is like I've wanted to build something like this for a long time, and I just haven't had the skill sets to get there. And now that I do, like we're gonna take this to a whole nother level.
Hopefully your planes follow suit.
Oh, that's happening.
Yeah, that's happening.
Because
that's the 516 he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. That's the thing. Like, I'm not afraid to do technology changes to them anymore.
That's good, dude. Seriously, because that comes a long way from where you were standing. You know.
Yeah.
And that would be like, I mean, I'm not saying that as a dig, but seriously, that'll
Yeah.
hold you back. You know, you can't be no fear. I mean, like, what's the worst that can happen? You end up building 600 planes. You know, so what? I mean, at least
Yeah, and
40
I
of
don't
them
want to
are
build
going to be
600
good.
of the same
Just gotta
one
get over
because
that
then I'm
initial
not
hit.
growing. Yeah, because if I build 600 of version 1, I'm not growing.
No, that's true. That's true. But the ideas will come, and then the tech that works on them will come, and then you could just like you could stop saying like whatever tech you begin to add, however many pieces of tech that are on it, you could eventually say like, you know what, this has got so much stuff. This ain't version 1 anymore. This is version 3. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. And you'll be able to change that on the fly. Is going to be the benefit. Because that numbering is not going to change. Like whether it, is version 1 or version 3 is not going to change the actual number of the plane.
Right.
If it's still the same plane.
If it's still the same
It's
plane.
it's just going to change the version of the plane in the system to know that, oh, this is the first version 3 that you built. But if you build, like when you went back and changed phases and stuff and did that, like it's not going to change the numbering there either, but it's going to change the version of where you're at. Now, unless you're going back and adding new designs to that and saying, hey, this plane was also in the phase category and I just didn't know it until now, then that would change the numbering of each plane. That's the only time the numbering is going to change, is when you go back and add a new design into an older version, an older plane.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly.
If you have some built after that, that's the thing. Like if you have some for you, you have phases built every single day. It, you know what I'm saying?
It sure
you're
feels
building
like
phases,
it.
but you build a new design today and you build a phase tomorrow, and then you realize that this new design is just a different version of the phase. Well, that number of the new design is now one before that new phase. Like technically that phase is now that new design number.
Right. No, yeah, no, exactly. And I've had to
And
deal
that
with that very
phase,
thing before.
yeah, and so have I. I've dealt with that too. The database is going to be able to correct that easily and fix those problems. We just have to manually do it or print out a little sticker that we slap on the side of it and said, "Oh, no, here's the new sticker for it." So, that's going to be cool.
A bunch of that stuff was like, yeah, that's crap we were talking about back in the day, dude. That goes way, way back.
Yeah, I mean, but back then I knew it could be done, but I didn't really know how to do it like I
Right.
know how to do it now. I'm just watching and waiting on you to, like, are you cutting the fins in? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Abby was asking me about doing a 628, and I'm like, well, let me do a 628 real quick here. So
And you gotta cut
I
the
have
back.
628. That's what I was showing. Like, that is number 628 right there. So I'm duplicating the cut and making, because this one does work really good.
Yeah, that one's made out of the folder paper, isn't it?
That one is made out of folder. Goddamn, you guys know this crap. Yeah. Yeah, that one is made out of folder paper. So this one is a touch differently because it's made out of notebook paper, but
Yeah, that one's not gonna fly as good.
Come on now. That's still a good
It's
design.
gonna fly good. It's gonna fly good. It's just not gonna fly
Yeah,
as
you're right.
good.
It won't be as good
The
as that.
structure of the folder paper, the manila folder, is much better for that design than notebook paper.
Yeah, you guys, yeah. If you use cardstock / a manila folder, a file folder, yeah, you're going to get like like you won't need to double up. Like I showed you with this one at the beginning of it was doubling up the folds, which is a standard phase thing. You won't have to do that with manila folder because you just can't. So
Yeah, you can't do it. You just fold it. Which is the same plane, we know that.
well, I mean, there we go with that. There we go with that. Like, okay, what that's
the intent.
the intent.
That's
Yeah,
why
but
that's why I said
it's
like,
only one sheet, so
it has to be based on intent. Like it can't be based on folds.
right.
Because if we base it on folds, almost all of them will be slightly, not all of them, but a lot of them would be different in a different version from the next one that we build, because we're trying to change and trying to figure out tech.
Not only that, but like, and I was going to bring this up on the show, but since you're here and we're talking about that real quick, I'm going to touch on that. Like, if you do any kind of cuts, and I'm going to illustrate the X with this one. This is the same plane, but that's just cutting that altered the back end of it. So, I mean, you're talking about worlds apart in looks, but the build, it's the exact same aircraft, but you cut the wings differently. And you can make 30 different aircraft out of different cuts. You can make hundreds of different aircraft folded the exact same way out of different cuts. So you really got to watch where you're going with that particular option, because the possibilities go skyrocketing. You know what I mean?
Yes, and we have said that altering it in that way is technically a new version, because you can't change it back.
Right.
Once you cut it, you can't change it back into what it was. Even with tape and all that other stuff, you can't. It'll never be the same as what it was.
Exactly.
So, yes, it's technically a new version, but at the same time, like, you have to decide what you want to do. So you're cutting the extra one off?
Yeah, because with this one, yeah, this one is like, that'll eventually, if you tape it, you're going to screw up the weight distribution.
No, I figured you'd turn it into an X-Wing.
But if you, hold on, if you turn it into an X-Wing, this plane will not fly like you expect a phase to, because it'll just straighten out every single flight. So if by any chance during the flight these begin to separate, if one separates and the other one doesn't, it'll lean over into one side and screw up your flight. Or if it turns into an X, all it will do is fly dead straight. It won't glide, it won't go anywhere else. It will not be a phase if these X. And if you tape them, it won't be a phase, because you'll shift the weight back to the back. So you have to cut them. You have to. This is the only way to get this out of this. I've had this problem before. Even if you use glue, it still won't work. I've thought about the glue them down, double-sided tape. That's the best option. I'd rather just do the single paper, because believe me, that'll work a lot better for this particular aircraft. I mean, yeah, if you want to make any plane instantly straight, put an X at the back. No matter what plane you've got, it will fly straight. That's going to need a little bit more weight.
Well, I don't know what your plans were for this evening, but we've been on for a minute.
We did good, man. We did good. And OAE's back, which is awesome. I thought, like, dude, he's talking about that museum pieces, the fact that they're that old. Do you have a museum? Do you have, like, a palace like we got, where you keep the old birds? I mean, I keep some of my old birds there, but every once in a while I like to drag out my 35-year-old plane. You know, you guys have seen it.
It ain't 35 now, I'll tell you that.
Oh, wait. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, she's going to be 35 this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's not 35 yet.
Than that.
December of 1990, so.
Yep. So, yeah. Interesting.
She's my warbird. She's going to fly until she dies. I got some in the pallets that are that old, but that one's going to stay out because I love flying that thing. Man,
Why does
come
that
on.
one still fly?
What?
Why does that still fly?
I don't know. I don't know. Because it doesn't, I don't know why. It hasn't been,
It's kept its shape, and it's kept its tape, and it's kept everything about it, and it hasn't.
aged like that. So it flies. I mean, I wouldn't kill it, would you?
Well, no, but at the same time, it's like I don't have any that last that long, but I haven't been able to maintain them either
No, that's true. You haven't.
because I just don't know how they're doing in that storage unit after been sitting in there for a year and a half. Because I've got nowhere to put them.
That's how you build 628. Only you'd probably build it with a manila folder.
I would build it with a folder.
I'd build all of them with a folder, really, if that's what it's going to take. Yeah, I'd build all of them with a folder. Some planes don't
If
like
they
that
all
shit,
fly
but-
that good, and a lot of them do fly that good, because I think you have more than that.
Oh yeah, yeah. The amps, as I like to call them, yeah, there's quite a few amps. I like the way the amps fly.
But you have the one, yeah, you have the one that are made out of the sheet protectors too.
Yes, yes. Those are the plastic
Which
ones,
one
which
was
I
that?
call, which used to be the Phase 5s, but I took that away from them. Now they're called the Pimps.
Yeah, what number was that? I can't remember.
Which
that
one,
like
the
3
plastic
something
ones?
or 4 something? Yeah.
417, 460, 461, 489, 571, 513, 571.
Yeah, I'm
I haven't
thinking of
built
like the
that many
4s
of
and
them.
5s is what I was thinking.
The
I
ones
think they
you
were like
remember
the
mostly are
4s.
417, 460, and 461.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because those were the ones that were around
Yeah,
20
Yeah.
years ago. 25 years ago now. Holy cow.
yeah.
What? Has it been that long? It has been that long.
It's been that long, dude. That Banshee we were talking about, yes, 25-year-old design.
Yeah, you built that one. Did you build that at Raintree?
Yeah. You like I said, I want to do a how to build with that one because I'd be shocking you with its little tale of how it was constructed and why it was constructed.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, yeah, because that one was. I think you built that one shortly after I came around, right?
Yep.
Or right before? Was it right before? Or...
I think you were.
No, because
I
you
think
still
you
had
were-
Osprey back then.
Oh yeah, Banshee was replacing Osprey, but Osprey was my main aircraft doing that role then. Yes.
Exactly. So yeah. So I think Banshee was either like you hadn't built it yet, or it was still in testing when I came around.
Well, when you came around, you showed me Vortex and Diablo, and you built Thunderbolt, and then like that summer, that's when we kind of blew up, and like you had built. You don't remember? You remember these, but Condor and Stingray.
Oh yeah.
And you built Stingray, and Stingray gave me the idea for Banshee.
Oh yeah. I do remember that. I do remember that. Dang, those are some old
And I
plans.
remember thinking back in my head, going like, if that little bastard hadn't called it Stingray, mine would have looked a lot more like a fucking Stingray.
But back then we were limiting names, but now you can name it whatever you want.
Well, I mean, yeah. As we grew, we knew that was not going to be a problem. We just had to worry about that. Well, now
Yeah,
it's a new number,
like-
see, because now I built another one, so now it's not number 628 anymore. Now it's also going to be 725.
I mean, 628 is awesome, but
628 is awesome. And of course,
but you get
now it's
Where's-
truly a
do you
warbird
have
because I've
417?
retired them.
do you have 417 hanging around? Or is that
Yes? Where the hell is she?
or any of those?
Oh yeah, I definitely got. They're actually not on the line. They're in a box somewhere. They're in a line box. I'm not in the shoe boxes anymore. So
Yeah, you're talking about like the hanging
yeah,
portable boxes.
yep. And of course, like I
Those are
said,
so
now they all
dangerous
truly
outside.
are warbirds because they're all retired now.
Like those are so dangerous outside. Because you're not gonna find them.
Yeah, I know. Got bad as it was, wasn't it?
Dude, I still can't believe that it took us like hours to find that one that was landed by the curb, at my place
Dude,
in
you
that open
always
field.
there's always one with you that always goes missing and it stays missing in the obvious places. Like the one freaking in Archdale that was like, we searched for about an hour and it turns out your mom, we're like, hey, what's this in the bush over here? We're like, what? It was in the bush by the house. And we're like looking in the
Yeah.
street and shit. We couldn't find it. And your mom said, there's one in the bush right here. And that was it. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
We
forgot about
always
that
have
one.
one like that. The one that went up in the tree at Rain Tree that we had to it took us forever to find, and then once we found it, it took us forever to get it down.
Yeah, that one was a pain. That one was way up there too.
Yeah, way up in that damn tree. The ratio of
Well, and then the ones you always got caught on the second floor. She hated that. Oh, she hated that.
well, the one that not only that, but the one that Cole had to actually climb on the roof to go get.
Yeah. Yeah, that. Oh my God.
I don't
forgot
like
who
losing
that
my
was.
plane.
Yeah. That was insane. I forgot that's who that was.
Did you really?
Uh-huh. I totally forgot. I'm like, yeah. I don't know who. I forgot his name.
You can't forget Sammy, but you forgot Cole.
Oh no, I can't forget Sammy. Yeah, I'll never forget Sammy. Cool kid though.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Sammy was cool. He was cool. Hopefully, he's a cool adult.
Yeah, I lost track of him after high school. I don't know.
Oh,
where
I'm
he
sure,
went.
man. A lot of life changes after school. It's only really really like you're gonna have a special bond. You're gonna stick with that person after school. So.
I know, like Terry. I still talk to him.
Oh hell yeah.
I still talk to him, but he's like you and him are the only two that I really talk to.
Everybody
I say
else is
really talk
kind
to
of.
you. You two are like you two are the only two that I talk to from that time frame. Like my circle's gotten real small.
Like real small.
It has over the last 40 years, man. I'm like I just don't have time for nonsense anymore. And yeah, it's like no, if
Sometimes you have to go and find. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you have to go and find a new brand of nonsense. So.
yeah. Well, my meds are kicking in.
Well, dude,
Eat
we've had
shit.
a long show and everybody's been out here, so we could close it down. We've done a good job tonight. This is awesome. We got everybody in here. We got everybody talking. We got builds going on. We talked about how we're going, where everybody's going to be successful. This will be great. This will be great.
It's gonna be a good 2025. I'll tell you that.
It will be a good 2025. Hells yeah, bro. So that being said, we will shut this down. Guys, thanks for showing up for the show. It's great to see Mark back in here, of course. And like everybody that showed up. Oh, hey, thank you for coming in. A little worried about.
Thank
Little
you.
worried about Robert.
Thank
Robert
you,
ain't been
thank
here a hot minute. We'll have to check in with him though.
Yeah, but he was here. He was here not too long ago.
Not too long ago. That's true. But normally he pops in to say hey like this. So
It was great for Dalton to peek in on us, make sure we're doing okay on his end. Abby, always a pleasure to have you out there, and anybody else that we missed. But like, yeah, guys, thanks. Look forward to some good things out of us. Those how to builds are coming now, pretty strong. You guys wait and see. Now that my boys got a taste of what's being offered, yeah, it's gonna look pretty hot. So get ready.
It's gonna be sweet. You guys get ready for 2025. It's coming.
Y'all just be ready. But in the meantime, y'all keep them flying.
Keep them flying.